Hello everyone, my name is Kirsty, and if you've met me before, then you'll know one of my most favourite things in the whole world is stories. And I just happen to have a story here with me now. Shall we read a story together? Yeah? It doesn't even matter what time it is, does it? It might be sleepy time in a wee minute, or it might be time for a nap, or it might just be time for a rest, because you've been very busy playing, but it's always a good time for a story. And I've got a cracking story to read to you today, and it's called One Button Benny, and it was written by Alan Windram and illustrated by Holwill-Hunter, and it's published by Little Door Books. Let's see what happens, shall we? Benny was different. Benny was special. Benny was a robot. Benny had a bright red button in the middle of his tummy. On the button, written in big bold letters, were the words, "Only press in an emergency." Benny had never pressed his button. He often wondered what would happen if he did. Benny had always known that he wasn't like the other robots. They all had lots of buttons, and when they pressed them, they did wonderful things. Like, oh, can you see the picture? Look, this one plays music. And this one bounces high. This one makes bubbles. Lights up. Oh, wow, that's amazing things they can do, isn't it? The other robots used to tease Benny, saying, "Here comes one button, Benny. Come on, Benny, press your button and let's see what it does." I bet it doesn't do anything. Does it even work? It didn't help that Benny's mum made him wear a vest when it got very cold outside. Every time the other robots pressed their buttons, they would show off saying, "Look at what I can do, Benny. I bet you can't do this." Benny often wished there was an emergency so he could press his big red button. Is this an emergency? Broken vase. It's not good, but it's not an emergency, is it? Or this. Oh, there's no biscuits left. I don't know, that maybe does count as an emergency. What do you think? Or, oh, look, the pussycat's made away with the thread from his vest. Or what about this? A broken television. Are these emergencies? Can I press my button? One morning, Benny woke up. It seemed just like any other morning. He had his breakfast, brushed his teeth, looked in the mirror at his big, bright red button, and wondered what would happen if he pressed it. But this morning, there was something different. There was something wrong. Oh, who's that peeking in the window? Can you see? Oh, who's that? What's happening? Outside in the street, everyone was zipping and zooming around in a panic, shouting, "The collectors are here! Oh dear, what will we do? The collectors are here!" Benny had heard stories about the collectors, scary stories that kept him awake at night and made him hide under his blanket. The collectors were small, hairy, scary aliens with green bottoms who travelled through space looking for bright, shiny metal. They would gather it all up, throw it into their gigantic crushing machine, and turn it into teapots. The collectors had arrived in the night when everyone was sleeping and taken over Benny's planet. All the robots were crying as the collectors took them down the main street towards the spaceship and their gigantic crushing machine. "Help! We're all going to be crushed and turned into teapots!" Benny looked at his mum and said, Mum, I don't want to be a teapot. What are we going to do? Is this an emergency?" "Yes, Benny, this is an emergency. Quick, press your button. You're the only one who can save us now." Benny placed his finger over the big red button on his tummy, closed his eyes, and pressed his button. But nothing happened. Then, all of a sudden, there was a zing, zang, then a very loud boom. Benny went zooming into the sky faster than the fastest rocket, flying higher and higher up into space. He pressed his button again, and bright blue laser beams came shooting out of his fingers and from the toes of his boots, zapping the collectors from behind and turning their bottoms bright red. Benny pressed his button a third time, and there was a brilliant flash of light that stretched across the whole sky. It confused the collectors so much that they all ran around bumping into each other. They were so scared of Benny and what he could do that they ran as fast as they could into their spaceship and flew away, never to return. All of the robots just stood and stared at Benny in amazement. Then, together, they started jumping up and down, smiling and cheering and singing. Zing, zang, zoom, Benny touched the moon. Zing, zang, zoom, his button goes boom. Zing, zang, zoom, Benny wears a vest. Zing, zang, zoom, Benny is the best. Everyone lifted Benny up on their shoulders as they sang and danced all through the town. Later that night, Benny was still amazed at what had happened when he pressed his big, bright red button, and his mum was tucking him up in bed. Benny asked her, "Do you think I'll ever get to press my button again?" "I hope that you never have to, Benny, but somehow I think you will." With that, she gave Benny a goodnight kiss, turned out the light, and before you could say, zing, zang, zoom, Benny was fast asleep. And here you go. Ooh, where are these aliens off to now? Going to find another planet to annoy. Oh my goodness. That book was called One Button Benny, and it was written by Alan Windram, illustrated by Holwill-Hunter, and it was published by Little Door Books. I just loved that story, did you? What was your favourite bit? Oh, my favourite bit was definitely when Benny pressed his button and went whoosh and saved the day. What a hero he turned out to be. I bet nobody's going to be mean to him ever again, are they? Now you know how fantastic he is. I wonder, if I had a button, what would my button do? What would your button do if you had a special button? What power would it give you? Oh, there's something to think about, isn't it? So you can think about that while you're falling asleep into dreamland, or if it's not time for a sleep, maybe you could draw a picture of your robot and make a design for what the button would do. Oh, there's a good idea, isn't it? Well, whatever you're doing, whether you're off to have more adventures or off into dreamland, have a lovely time there. And I'll see you again another time. Bye.